Charles, what do you think of the Seattle Autonomous Zone? Okay, this is America. You don't, in America, go and create your own country. You just don't do that. Last time we tried that, it was Civil War. It didn't work out so well for anybody. The Seattle mayor is a coward. The Seattle administration, they're a bunch of cowards. You know, there's a world of difference between peaceful protests and civil disobedience and rioting and extortionary behavior. The people who live in CHAZ, who own that property, they're being subjected to basically extortion. They're basically told they have to provide food, money, and other things for these incumbents that have come. And if they don't, then they're assaulted. They can't leave their home. They live in fear. Some of these people have lived there and they're in their 70s and they've lived there their whole life. And they're basically just being subjected to this terrorism. And what is the Seattle government's response? They give them toilets and they feed them. You know what you do? You cut off the power of the water. You build a wall around the whole place. And as they grow tired of it and they leave, you arrest them and you charge them and put them in jail for 10 years. You just don't allow lawlessness like this to persist and propagate. It is the destruction of society. You know, if you have grievances, then solve the fucking problem. Don't be a bunch of goddamn kids running around, setting things on fire, breaking windows. You won't accomplish anything. If these are municipal problems, vote the municipal governments out. You know, it's not that hard. If you're able to organize and get 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people and maintain rage, vote. Just do that. Vote out the mayor. Vote out the entire municipal government. Put your own people in. Change the electoral system. You think America is so fundamentally broken, hold a constitutional convention. But don't for once create the ideal society where you don't even know how to farm. Good luck with that. And now you have a warlord running around with guns telling people that the white people have to pay the black people. It's craziness. It's just anarchistic madness of a bunch of shit posting kids. It's like the comments section on the internet came alive and created their own little city. And they're having a lot of fun. And the millions and millions of dollars of damage that they're doing, of course, they won't repay. They won't be held accountable. And then, you know, here's the best part, the greatest irony of CHAZ. They had a fire and they couldn't put it out. So they had to call the fire department to come and help them with their little utopia. Again, why is Seattle even playing into it? Just let the fire spread. Let it burn up a bunch of stuff so that they can understand that maybe these public services have a real purpose behind them. You know, there's a world of difference between doing something constructive and something destructive. I get the rage. I get the anger. I've been all throughout Africa. I have seen people who have missing arms and limbs and shrapnel wounds from barrel bombs. And they're basically told that they have to set it aside and get along. Okay? Whatever problems and grievances you have or perceive to have, theirs are far worse. And if they can find a way to build a constructive society without burning things down or resulting in sectarian violence, you can find that same way too. But you see, they're not interested in solving the problem because there's no profit, glory, or political gain in actual solutions. There's profit in division. There's profit and power to be gained in allowing the problem to persist and persist and persist and persist. That's why we never solved the illegal immigration problem in the United States. It's actually not that hard. The left wants to run it to become such a crisis that they can legalize all of the illegal immigrants. And if they think that they do that, they'll get a solid, reliable voting bloc and turn Texas blue. And the right wants cheap labor. So if you keep them in the shadows, the labor is permanently cheap. Both sides have no political incentive to actually work together, create a guest worker program, solve it. Guys, it's the incentives. Here's how you know that people aren't interested in solving the problem, okay? If they were really interested in solving the problem, everybody in the political spectrum, right and left in the United States, would be right now talking about changing our voting systems, moving to liquid feedback, moving to contre se counts, board accounts, changing the way we elect our officials, term limits, these types of things. Because if we have a 90+% disapproval rate of Congress, no one likes the recent presidents we've had in the last 30 years, then that's probably a good indicator that the election system is no longer capable of converging to good choices. But we have bipartisan agreement to keep the system as it is, just telling you that if you change the people at the top, somehow it'll all be different. It was no different under Obama, no different under Trump, it'll be no different under Biden, okay? So unless you change the system, you're not going to have the system give you the intended results, and CHAZ will not change the system. It's a propaganda piece being propped up by the government to excuse the broader social situation that we're running in.